Dear Lord, I never knew how much I have hated myself until today. The lights were warm all over my skin, like heat waves from an oven in Studio 38. Though they made my temperature rise, that was nothing compared to my blushing in front of the camera. As I always do when I'm nervously awkward, I stood on the sides of my feet, humming songs I've never heard before. It was akin to being under the crosshairs of a gun, but though I could restrain myself from turning away, I could hardly look at the camera squarely. It was not just a lens and a flash there. Behind it was the eye of another person who could see and judge just the same as I. For the only thing more mortifying than picking myself apart in a mirror is to give that opportunity to someone else. Just forget where you are and what you're doing, said the Zucchetto-capped priest as he flipped on the stereo. If that previous description made you smile, Lord, then you know its effect on me. I suspect I'm not the only one who feels out of place at a photo shoot. But in all reality, what have I to fear if a good friend takes a picture of me? What have I to fear if a total stranger would do the same? Lord, I've figured out the truth of it. Beauty makes a person more valuable. I do not think you would try to deny it. I've felt it pressing on me every time I look at photographs. Right off the bat, I scan the faces to find my own and to compare it with all the rest. Like a top 10 countdown, I wonder where I ranked in loveliness. To be beautiful is to be favored, desired, delighted in. Whenever I fell into loneliness, I assumed it somehow drawn up into the terrible knot of my physical mediocrity. If I doubted the allure of my personality, I considered that a byproduct of my looks. Beauty gives value. But did you give me beauty? If you meant to put us here, Lord, in a world just as superficial as me, then the least you could have done was make us all astonishingly beautiful. All this while, it has seemed to be a crooked trick, that I was stacked up against lovely girls and charming boys, destined to lose. Turn your shoulders and lower your chin, directed the clerical cameraman. I want you to think of determination. I followed the directives as best I could, though it required mental tricks to conjure up determination at that time. I squared up, looked left, looked right. I even made bold to show my teeth. At the end, Father posed the question, "Would you like to see the pictures?" I would have preferred to respond in the affirmative, and then asked him to wait in the hall, but I did not. Image after image I passed before my own eyes. In the successive attitudes, I was often as I had anticipated myself to be, ordinary, rehearsed, ill-timed. But then, Lord, you surprised me. I could not deny an energy, a glowing life that is often disregarded when contained within a less than flawless form, such as my own. The vivid light of the soul can, in every person, be summoned and called to the surface. Suddenly it bubbles up in an expression across the mouth, or confidence in the brow. It flashes like light on water when the eyes catch the reflection. It was that day in Studio 38 that you invited my own soul to the surface of my skin. I was overwhelmed, much like a treasure hunter who finally arrives where X marks the spot. Except the goods I discovered were much more than I wagered. There was an unmistakable feeling that this phenomena of a captivating soul was universal, yet unrealized. If I would take the time to call out the soul in any other person, I'm sure of what I would find. Beneath the layers of self-hate and worry, under the wraps of doubtfulness and fear, a soul would be ignited and set free to radiate extraordinarily in anyone's eyes. The result would be breathtaking. "Look at that," remarked your good priest to me. "You are very beautiful." And for the first time, Lord, I believed it. Song of Songs 2:14. For your voice is sweet, and you are lovely.